Hello there YouTube land, and welcome back to the Small Workshop Adventures. Bit of housekeeping before we get started. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. It's really appreciated. And press the notification bell if you want to know when new videos and new stock content is coming out. So part four of this continuing a big garden room build. Lovely, really enjoying this one. So what we're going to be doing on this one as we continue to build and continue to grow it, well, it is growing, isn't it? Because yes, as we build it, it grows. So I'm not physically growing, or maybe I am. Yeah, anyway, part four, we're going to continue mostly around the inside. There are still stuff to be done outside, and we'll continue to do that, but this is going to be a lot more detail as we get into the finishing details and how we do that. So let's just get on with it and go and check out more what is coming on. So that's the kitchen walls. We have plumber coming tomorrow to do first fix. So we just wanted to get these two walls clad, which was nicely done. But you can see now that's starting to come on. Then we're out of the way so plumber can get in there. And he's going to get in the toilet, but we've got to do some other stuff in there, obviously. So, and then we'll carry on. But that's been a nice day. We've done the ceiling and we've started the cladding, the tongue and groove walls. Right, we've got all the tongue and groove is going up on the wall, coming together quite nicely. You can see we've still got more to do, but as you can see there's lots of bits there. Coming round into the kitchen, and there's Wayne doing some plumbing. And we're looking in the bathroom, So we've got quite a lot of the tongue and groove done. Still plenty more to do, but it's coming along nicely. Right, as you can see, we've been putting the fascias on and the soffits. We're getting that detail. Obviously, haven't got the edges yet, the corners. Don't worry about that. We've got all that coming around there, you can see. And just running this way, we've got to do a slight little, we've just had to work out a little while ago, because we've got a joining of two different materials at two different thicknesses. So we've set the fascias down and adjusted that, because then we're going to create a profile on the exterior tongue and groove, which is going up in there in the canopy. So you can see that, but that's what we're going to be doing down there. You can see coming down the sides, that detail. We haven't done the back yet. We've still got some more to do, but we put the soffit on, not the fascias on the back. But that's good. We haven't done the trim. Anyone that wants to comment on that? We haven't done the trim on the roof yet, but we will be. But that'll be the detail, the finishing detail across the top. But it's all coming together nicely. But that means now we can actually do this and fit, which is all down here. So we've got the different thicknesses. So we just had to work out how we're going to do that and create the finishing profile to join them up. So we're going to get on with that. We are ending on Friday. You can see the toilet is getting plumbed in, so quite nice. There's no actual running water, but it's all connected to the waste outside, so that's pretty good. So we're just getting going on there. Here's Wayne in here in the corner. That's where we keep him.
Hello.
As you can see under the sink, the water heater, and all that stuff going on in there. You can see the fuse boxes up on the wall, not connected yet, but it's just sitting there. It's going to be in that location, which actually will be inside a kitchen cupboard when it's finally finished. just spanning around. Lots of work gone on this week again, but it's all sort of finishing. You can see this is going to be painted, all this. You can see, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, all the knots have had knotting solution all over them. So before you even go for primer, you're putting knotting solution on if you're going to paint, and then this is going to be painted colours. So we're looking around. The canopy is getting done. We still haven't finished the trim on the top of the roof, the EPDM, but we've been working through this. This has taken quite a long time, the detail on that. And we just put a bevel all the way around. So the finishing detail, you can see that down there, but we're finishing with the bevel and stuff. So we've still got some more work to do in here, but it's coming along nicely. But all of a sudden you can see that that's coming in along. So doing well. Back again, beginning of week five of this build. The customer has been busy over the weekend, as you can see behind me, been painting and decorating, continuing that while we're when we're not here. So I'm going to show you around what we've got, where we're up to, what we've got done, and what we're going to be getting up to this week on the job. So as you can see, it's being painted, coming up nicely. We've got it all going on in here, haven't we? The plumbing is very much coming along. We've got the water heater essentially installed. We're going to be doing some pressure testing later today. We still haven't obviously done second fix of the electrics, but we've got that, and the toilet is well, the toilet has been moved. The toilet is currently it's over there. But the plumbing is going on that, but we know we've pressure tested it, and we're gonna be moving that and getting on with that. Air conditioning unit is going up somewhere around here, just in the kitchen. So that's going to be going on today. Wayne, plumber, is going to be installing that and getting all the pipes and everything ready. The unit, I'll show you outside where it's going. It's going to sit right here. So we're going to be outside here, on the outside. That's where the air conditioning unit is going to be sitting, and looking good. We're just getting where you can see it properly. Yes, there you go. It's going to be sitting in there really. We've just made a concrete base last week, so it can sit. It'll be about 100 mil off the ground, but you'll see all that anyway. We'll continue to do that. We haven't yet done the front trims, but we've got to finish off the trim and everything on the roof, but it's coming along nicely. And we did all of that last week. We got that the tongue and groove up in the ceiling there, which is really nice, looking a really nice feature. Got to put the vents in yet. We also have the windows going in this week, so that should be nice. Well, that's bifolds, and we've got a window round there, as you know, as you can see. So we've got that, and then we can finish off once the windows are in, the bifolds are in. We can then finish off the trim at the front. We did all that last week. We did the soffits and fascias going down the all the soffits anyway. You can see that running up there. Yeah, that's a looking nice piece of detail going back, and we've got to finish it off at the back, but we've nearly done it. So we'll continue with that. So that's where we're going to be at today. The weather is looking all right. I thought it was going to be indifferent this week, but at the moment, not bad. So we're going to crack on. So we've got the windows going in. You can see we're just letting the foam go off. We've got some people that come and fit them. I have some, it's a company near me that does this, so, and it's always good to know that the opening, you built it exactly perfect, and it absolutely went in like a glove, so nice and happy. So that foam's going off, and then they'll do the glazing. So the windows, the bifolds have been fitted, and the bathroom window is fitted. We've got to do all the returns and the beading and everything, but they're fitted nicely. It's been chucking it down with rain, so I didn't film from outside because it's been quite a lot of rain today, and B, yeah, I just didn't want to be filming other people essentially, although there's a little bit on there, so they didn't mind. But I wasn't going to put a full video of them actually working. I didn't think that was appropriate and correct. So good job done. The window fitters have been stunning. They're running really nicely. We'll look at those running another time, but we're just cleaning up, and then we can continue fitting out in here. So all looking, they went in absolutely like a glove. So really pleased. Both the bifolds and the window. Perfect amount of tolerance. It was just literally in, perfect and in, and no worries at all. Perfectly level. They were happy, we were happy. So that's what we've been doing. We continue. We've got bifolds in here, and we've got bifolds there, and we've got the door lining is now coming up for the toilet, so we're going to continue with that. Still got plenty of finishing to do. We've got a kitchen to build, we've got a floor to lay, and we've got stuff to do outside, but it's coming along nicely. So, and Andy's doing a sterling job of just clearing up the site. So there he is. And I know all of you watching the video are getting to know Andy a little bit. So as Andy's here a lot. Andy is a permanent fixture now. Well, I think he is. So unless he tells me otherwise, which is fine. But yeah, brilliant job.
He screws me to the floor in the evening.
Yeah, he can't go anywhere. That's funny. He has to stay here. He's literally permanent. As you can see, we've got the aircon unit on the wall. Wayne is outside doing that. I can show you a little bit around there. In fact, I'll go and move around there now. Wayne's doing some stuff. It's a bit noisy around there, but at least you'll see it. So I didn't speak around there because it's quite noisy, and I think my microphone will pick that up more than me. We've been pressure tested. Wayne has been pressure testing all day, so the system. So it's been under pressure. I don't fully understand that, but I understand what he's doing and why he's doing it. So that's been on a getting that so that that's coming along nicely. So it's what Wayne's in charge of, the air conditioning unit and all the plumbing and stuff. So brilliant stuff. So that's the end of this day. It's been raining. Well, we've done well, haven't we? Because it's been boiling hot most of the time, so I can't really complain. And under this canopy, wow, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So we're gonna disappear for the end of the day, and we're gonna come back tomorrow. That is all the T&G on the walls, obviously architrave and everything else, and all the quadrants and around the floor and the ceiling and the walls have got to go on yet, but the actual going round, yeah, and then looking out over there, which we have gone round there, and above the door, and we've cut out or chopped out for a plug, which we're going to have. That's going to have a projector plugged into it, I believe. So looking good. So we've done the reveals. We've got them up. We stuck that up with CT1. Good old CT1. Looking good. So we're getting ready in here. We've got still more to do. We've got to lay a floor. We've got to fit a kitchen.
and the toilet and everything has got to be finished off, but coming together nicely. Let's just look outside. You can see around here we've run the guttering, which goes into a water butt. That is temporary. It's roughly in the right place, but it's got to have, the garden is going to be landscaped, as you know, as we said, it's going to be raised, the height and all this is going to be re-patioed and everything. So that's sort of, we've done that. Andy's been doing that today. We've added the vents in here, and we didn't follow through with the vented soffit because we felt that it was a nicer detail going through with the cladding, the TNG rather, all the way through. So with being the canopy, so we've done that. Let's just have a look around the back and you'll see. And there's the guttering all sitting nicely, going along there, so looking good. Right, we've now clad the TNG'd the posts so they look a lot neater. No splinters. I mean, a really sturdy post, but that looks nice going all the way around there. So we've got that detail. As you can see, we finished there, and then that'll be finished on the outside. We are continuing. We just sort of going along the roof there. Scribe that in. Looking good. Put the reveals round. We've got to put the architrave around the outside of the front of the door yet, but coming on nicely. So more finishing detail on the front to do. Right, there we go. We have the remote, and there you can see we've just turned the aircon unit on, set at 16 degrees. And we've had it in here earlier. We were testing it, making sure it was obviously working. Well, not me, Wayne was, who installed it. We went up to 30 degrees and we shut the doors. It was absolutely cooking on a warm summer's day. Then we started to sweat, but anyway, it's looking nice. So that will really cook. Now this has got all sorts of clever stuff that filtrates the atmosphere. So not only does it keep it obviously warm and cold, warm in the winter, cool in the summer, regulates the temperature, but it's got all sorts of filters that it can take out bacteria as well. So coughs and colds, it can filter that out and keep a really nice atmosphere in it. Also, you can have, if it's humid, you can make it a much drier atmosphere. I know that I'm talking because I've been told this, not because I know about aircon units, but Wayne behind me has told me all about it. So yeah, you can do all sorts of really clever stuff. So if you want something like this, and obviously you need to find a fitter local to you. If you're in Dorset and surrounding areas, then please get in touch via the channel. So that's the unit there on the wall. And just coming outside with the aircon unit, you can see that it's sitting there. It's got a nice bit of a sensible bit of real estate. You can see it sits there in there. I am actually going to build, because we've got some little ones, so I'm going to build a little bit of a safety fence around it, so to stop little hands potentially sticking fingers in there. So I'm going to create that, which just is just a bit of a safety feature. You certainly don't need to do that if you haven't got little fingers, and people that would potentially put things in there. So I'm going to build something just out of wood, timber, that fits what's going on around here. All right, we are beginning to we're going to lay the floor, so we're putting this self-leveling compound all over the floor, so you can see. So it's been mixed in the bucket. How many did you say it was, Andy?
I'm doing 5.5 litres of water
To a bag. 5.5 litres of water to one bag.
People on Screwfix said that that's about recommended.
That's about, I've not done this, Andy has done it before, but that's the recommendation on this. 5.5 litres if you're doing self-leveling for the floor to one bag, 5.5 litres. So there we go, as you can see, we're starting to just spread it out. We don't need to go underneath because that's the plinth line, the floor, once that's done. So we're just levelling it across underneath the kitchen. And you can see it as it will be mixed. So now we've got to leave that to dry. So overnight, that should be okay. It's just going to leave that to set, do its thing, and then we can lay the floor on top. So looking good.
Do you ever have those days where your brain's not just doesn't work? Monday morning, my brain wasn't working. I've just been sorting out the quadrants, and for some reason I just couldn't get the inverted miters. Anyway, I couldn't. Anyway, Andy could, so Andy to the rescue. And yeah, once I was going, I was fine. But for some reason, my brain was not working this morning. Couldn't do it. But I can now. So I was like, I'm going to throw this. But anyway, all sorted now. Right, we're going to just have a look. We've just started doing that. The trim around the ceiling. It's got to go all around the doors and the floors and the walls and everything. But we're getting there. There you go. As you can see, the quadrant's all going round. It's in here as well. Just around the ceiling. That's obviously got to go around. We've put that around the top of the room, and obviously in there as well. So that's done. Well, the bit of the wall to the ceiling is done. We've got to do all the floor, and we've got to do the architrave and all sorts of things, the corner pieces. But it's coming on quite nicely. Right, as you can see, the flooring is coming along nicely. It's being laid. Andy's been laying the floor, so we're coming down. So it has to be glued in. We did the self-leveling that you've seen, and the floor is coming along nicely. So yeah, looking nice. So I can start doing the trim down around the floor area, around the floor and up the sides now. So we can get that on now. The flooring is going down. Andy's doing an amazing job for that. So bathroom floor's laid, so I can get in there as well. So that's where we're at with the floor. So I have the architrave going on, as you can see, around the door and inside the toilet. The architrave, and we put it around the inside of the bifolds. So going on
Right, I'm doing a simple little bit of boxing in. It's all going to be screws and screws on the outside, so if you ever need to access it, you can just unscrew it. So we'll just paint over the screws, but then it'll be easy to pull apart, so if you ever need to get inside. So just doing a nice little frame, and then we'll do the rest of it. So we've just done some boxing in the toilet, so just making that look neat. I've left all the screws so it can be undone, so you can get to all the pipes. So they'll paint over the screws, but then you've got easy access if you ever need to get to any of the pipe work and stuff. And also inside the unit is where all the it disappears into the ground, so you can see that. So nicely hidden inside the unit, but yeah, all good. So that's a nice little bit of boxing to make that neat and tidy. That's a wrap. It's been best part of nearly 6 weeks from start to finish building this. There are a couple of things to finish, and that is the electrics. So still a little bit. They're probably going to be finished in the next day or so. So as far as the build we're concerned, obviously that's my electrician, that's Chris Higgy. He's the electrician, amazing, and Bram been doing that. So there's a couple of bits still to sort out, so it isn't actually powered up yet, but that will be by the weekend. So but let me show you around, and you can see what has been done. The customer has now got to do the decorating, the painting, finish the painting. They've started it, they're a long way into it, but there's you can see what we've done, and you can see obviously all the architrave and the trim, the quadrants. Oh, that all needs painting, but you'll see it's just, we've built it, I've done it, it's looking nice. Most importantly, the customer is very happy. So let's show you around. So starting over with the kitchen, we've got a nice little kitchenette. There's going to be a freezer standing there, so that's going to go. I've cut this worktop so that the customer's going to finish that. They had this unit there that they want to put in. That's got to be raised up to the same height as a kitchen worktop. It's going to have some feet on it, and then they're going to fix that, and they're going to put an aluminium trim on the end just to finish it off, just in keeping with what we've got on there. So that's why that's sitting there, and it sort of looks not fitted, but that will become in the coming days, but that's something that we can't do because they've ordered some stuff on Amazon, it hasn't arrived, and so forth. So there's the kitchen. We have the air conditioning unit, which I did show you in the video, so it's sitting there nicely. We have the remote control sitting there by the side of it. You can see it all in here. We have the water heater and all the plumbing, so got its own hot water, so that's really good. Coming into the bathroom, you can see there we have done all the trim round. It's got to still be finished painting, not completely finished, but I've done all the boxing in around, and then that's all going to be painted white, I believe. It's all going to be painted white. So you can see there the trim goes all the way around, the architrave, and down that side, looking nice. So the door has obviously got to be painted and decorated. Looking across the front here, I call this the little alcove. So a plug, there you go, a socket still needs to be finished on there. But you can see all the architrave around the door, the bifolds. And looking out at the bifolds, we're looking back into the garden. Now the garden is going to be landscaped in about a couple of weeks' time. The landscapers come in, and they're going to take that, and then the garden will be dressed and finished, and it will look obviously stunning. We've got here, which is a little quiet room. We have bifold doors. Let me just pull them too. So we've got some bifolds. We've got the little quiet room in here, and we've got some nice bifolds, internal bifolds just coming across. Just put them in, and they just return. There's a couple of magnets. There's a magnet on the bottom and a magnet on the top. So we've just got, it just holds the door there, and then just to open it, just break it. We're coming back. So So there you see the doors returned, which is how they're going to live probably a lot of the time. As I said, this is a little quiet room, got the lighting in there and so forth that's been being painted and still being decorated. You can see the floor in its finished state. Andy did an amazing job fitting that, as you can see, running around everywhere. Looking good. So there's more decorating to do, but once this is fully furnished, there is going to be a TV on the wall there. So that is going to have quite a nice sized TV. There is also going to be a screen that's going to come down. The customer's going to do that. Now I've provided, which I think I might have to come back and do, there's a socket up there, which obviously Chris hasn't done yet, but he will do in the next probably 24 hours, I would imagine. Then there's going to be a shelf. They want a shelf up the top there because they're going to put, that's to plug in a projector so they can have big screen and a TV coming out in front. So that's going to be on that wall. So that's going to look really nice. Obviously you're going to have to imagine that, but that's what's going to be there. We have a smoke alarm in the middle there, which again isn't active at the moment, obviously. So that's all wired in. So all the safety stuff going on. We have obviously the switches. We have the switches for both inside and outside. That's the switches for inside, and we have bathroom lights as well there to turn them on and off. We've got some lovely bifold doors going across there. They are 4 meters wide, and they sit lovely within the permitted development. Going across the front there. We have the detail, which I've shown you on the video. The lights still haven't been done again. The lights are yet to be finished. So we have the vents and everything, the vented soffit, both front and back. And we have the pillars, which are nice. So looking at it from the front perspective with the canopy and the front face, we have they're obviously raised up at the moment, as we've talked about. The ground, when it's landscaped, it's going to be sitting just under those pillars. So you can see it slopes away quite a lot down to this side. But it's going, once it's done in the next couple of weeks, and then I will hopefully be able to get some pictures of it fully dressed and looking really set lovely against a really nice garden as it's being redone completely. Coming round to the side, we have where the water butt, we've got the drainage, we've got all the guttering and the drainage coming round, so that will be, then they can empty that and recycle all the water. So that's actually a really handy feature. As you can see here, I've done, which there is another video specifically on the build of this, a little ornamental fence, which is sort of a safety idea the customer asked me to do because of the air conditioning unit and potentially little people putting things in when the fan's going. So we've got all of that, the electrics going in there. It's got its own fused box there for the electrics for the air conditioning unit. As you can see there, that's going in and going into the side there. And that is armoured cable, that is steel armoured cable, which runs down the side and is going into the front of the house. But looking good. So that's this side. We've got the window there, the bathroom window, which is frosted.
So that's finished. As with all things when you do a build of this size, it's a team effort, isn't it? So I want to say a big thank you to Andy Jower, who has been building this alongside me, and you'll see more of him on the channel, I'm sure, on other videos to come. He's a carpenter and also got lots of building experience. So Andy Jower has been doing that with me, and you'll see lots more. Big thank you to Chris Higgy and Bram for the electrics, and for putting that together and finishing that and doing that. Great team, great electrician. For Wayne Loco, who has done all the plumbing and the heating and all things water. And just an all-round lovely guy. In fact, they're all brilliant. And Dan McDonald at Windowman, Dorchester, for supplying and fitting the bifolds and the window, and his team of fitters, which I'm thinking their names are Kai and Darren, but don't quote me on that. So a team effort, as with any of these things is you get all the right trades in and it goes relatively smoothly. And I have to say this one has gone relatively smoothly. There's been things to overcome, things to try and work out. That's normal in any build, isn't it? That's normal when you're doing something. Whatever size of project you take on, there's usually something that you've got to get your head around and go, okay, how do I do that? How do we get over this? And it's not a problem that you come up against problems. That's not the problem. It's getting your head together, talking about it, working out solutions. And that's what we do as a team. And then you, in nearly all cases, well, in all cases, you can find a way of sorting out what you've got to do. So thanks for watching. If you haven't seen the other videos, there's parts 1, 2 and 3. This is part 4. So go and check them out and you'll be able to see the whole build. And there are other sort of smaller videos around that show other aspects, so little tiny bits of what we've been doing on this job. So all there is to say really is thanks for watching. Check out all the other stuff on the channel. And I will see you on the next video. So from me, Mark, at the Small Workshop Adventures, take care, everybody. Bye.